Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Captain Hook Tree Climbing. In this channel, I like to spread the message of safety in the tree and kind of exploring different ways that we can position ourselves, or that I could position myself in the tree, and kind of just demonstrate that in order to help others advance their own understanding of what it is like to climb a tree, to remove a tree. Also in different settings, like in a recreational setting where you're just moving throughout, maybe with a Captain Hook. That's always a lot of fun. Last winter, speaking of the Captain Hook, I went out with a bunch of buddies and we were climbing. We climbed for about 5 hours with the Captain Hooks, and we were just making long traverses. They were probably like 30 feet plus traverses. It was insane. Just, on that YOLO kind of thinking where you only live once. Let's just go up there and go crazy. But anyway, back to this video here. I want to just watch this video with you guys, give you guys a little sneak peek. I will be releasing the entire video right after this video, or right after this stream. So we'll do that. And then I also kind of just want to look at these comments here and just answer them on the stream, because honestly, man, replying to this, and between all my schoolwork and all the other busy stuff I got going on, it's kind of tough to just sit there and answer every single one. It'll be quicker right here. So let's get to this video real quick. See what we can do. Awesome. Okay, I'm in a tree. Look, I'm cutting down trees here. So I'm talking to my son. He called me. So I guess I didn't want to cut that one too much because there's an ornamental right below it, and I just wanted to be super careful. And then there's another tree right next to it that I don't want to break any branches out of, because if you break them, they'll go through. So yeah, there's a mini part here. Get nice into it. Lately, I've been getting really good with these types of cuts. Here, this Kazar, he came out good. As of late. Yeah, that was good. That was a good cut, man. Cleared the tree and everything, just barely scraped it. That was good. Some good stuff there. Oh, by the way, if you guys are able to, try to watch these videos in 4K, because I use a GoPro here on out, and it's able to film some top-notch quality videos. And my ropes are kind of crossed, so sometimes it gets weird.
Yeah, I sent them the text message. You should have it, baby. Yeah, and listen, if he can't get the password right, just tell him to try the same password as on the laptop, okay? And he'll know what you're talking about, okay? You heard, Nino? All right, buddy. I love you. I'll see you soon, baby boy. Have fun, alright, bud? Bye.
Yeah. Got a big kid here at home. So we've been watching for about 3 minutes. We're gonna roll this for just a little bit longer. And then, gonna just get to those comments. Oh Jesus! Really? Hold on. Is my voice better now?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me better?
Channel underscore. All right. I'll talk to you later, bud. Bye. All right, so we're gonna dive into the versatility of this device. And one of the cool things that you'll notice here is I'm able to switch to an SRT system very quickly. I'll do that
This is
by
my
passing
favorite
the ring
technique
through here. And we can choke it off at the spar. We have an SRT spar anchor. And yeah, we'll be climbing on that. Let me just fix up my lanyard in here. Is kind of weird. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that up.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Cool Jen. Appreciate your
Should help out.
input, man.
Alright. Alright, so I don't like it when the tail end of my climbing line is draped over my lanyard. I keep the system separate, not intertwined. That'll always help you prevent any hiccups, man. Keep your system nice and tidy, you know what I'm saying? More than anything.
There's that club hitch.
not
Oh,
gonna do
could have
this
kept
right
the
now.
club hitch in, but
I take
what am I doing?
this side right here. Go ahead and take off this side. Okay.
All right, we'll just watch another 2 minutes of this and then I'll cut it out.
Let's explore
ads,
your
bro.
future with Udemy.
Alright, so I knew I was coming back to this point, so that's why I did set it there. And otherwise I would have made sure that it would have came undone a lot easier. Because that right there could just turn into a mess from the ground. I'm trying to retrieve an anchor that won't come out. Alright. So this thing looks like it wants to favor that way. So we'll cut it down that way. And what we'll do first is get rid of this branch here.
There's the club hitch.
Oh no. I hope that nub doesn't get in the way.
down there.
It does. I'm gonna have to climb down there. So hopefully it works out. All right, nice and triangulated. Nice.
All right, that was good.
Right. That one. That was all the rope, man. So
Yep,
the reason
props
why
to
I didn't
rope
cut
man.
these right here is because my instinct was to have a little protection for myself in case this thing wants to kind of walk itself back, but it's kind of weighted that way. It's weighted a little bit funny, but I think I can get it to go that way. So that's what I'm going to work on. Hopefully that works. And as soon as all these branches are off of here, we're going to start
Today, I think I would
sending
do
the
this
rest of this.
different.
So we're gonna get seared under the sun. Good thing I got a I don't know what you call them, but this Protos helmet has like this this neck protector, and you got to buy it separately, but nonetheless I have the neck protector and it works wonders, guys, because my neck don't be getting burnt up. Sometimes my neck be so burnt, man.
All right, guys, that's it. So, cool. Let's go to these comments here. All right. So JB picked. I like that you share the whole process without cutting and editing. It's very educational to see how efficiently you handle all the details. Oh, great comment, man. Thank you for the compliment. And yeah, I kind of try not to edit the videos. I guess it's to your benefit, because basically like it allows you to see more of like the nuance between what is going on. So for instance, if you were to be looking at like Poplar Mechanic, I've seen some of his videos where he'll just basically cut to every time he's making a cut. And for me, that doesn't, I've done videos like that, but I feel like when I watch them back, I want to just maintain more of all the other stuff, everything that's going on around it. Because climbing, I tell most people, like, climbing is like 90% positioning. The better you can position yourself, the better you're able to think about how to position yourself for a two-hand cut is phenomenal. It's the way to go, because I mean, how else are you gonna climb? Are you just gonna climb, go up there and just like to hell with life? I'm not gonna use a lanyard and things like that. Sometimes it makes sense not to use a lanyard, but that happens a lot less than does the situation where you need a lanyard. You know what I mean? Where you usually need a lanyard on. And I don't mean to say I don't want to tell you guys what to do, but for me, I always need a lanyard on. Okay. So moving on to the next comment here. Kind of aerial lift is that? So the aerial lift here in this video, in all the videos you'll see, is going to be an Omnilift. I don't know what model it is, but it's a 90-foot lift. It's an incredible machine. All right. SOT tree service. Do you have another video on your lanyard setup? I think I do. I filmed one. There's one in the archive somewhere that needs editing. Right now it's hard for me with my schedule and everything to get to all the editing with the channel and even maintaining the channel. So I'm sorry, guys, but the lanyard setup it'll come out soon. I've gotten requests for that, and I've also gotten requests for some setups on the friction saver for the video we just saw. So I've gotten requests to see how I can create one of these friction savers in that video. All right, so going back here, Robert Stroh. You do a great job in your videos, and thank you for that. Have you ever had any issues with getting the hook stuck in a crotch? Yeah, I actually do. Thanks for the comment, by the way. So I do get a bunch of, I do have a lot of trouble, especially when it comes to the maximum branch that the hook can hook onto. So if you were to throw the hook onto something that maxes out that diameter inside the hook, I've found it to be very difficult to get out. I've been able to get out by flicking the rope several times, but there are some times when it just gets stuck, and it's stuck for good. You have to come back up to it, and it depends like your angle and all that, but for the most part, you can get it out. That hook is well engineered. They did an awesome job with that hook. Oh, guys, here in the comments, let me get to some of the comments in the stream here. So, Diego Cooks Chan, what rigging rope is that? This rigging rope in the video that we're just watching, it's it's a notch rigging rope. It's, I guess, one of the cheap ones. Some people complain about it, that it gets it knots up too much. You know, it gets tangled too easily. I don't know if that's entirely the rope's fault, the construction of the rope. I'm not sure, but all ropes, they tangle, like they twirl. They just get a bunch of twists, and the more twists you introduce into your rope, the more it's gonna like coil up itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that. Yes, I like to see how you get positioned as a hobbyist climber who's learning. I spend quite a lot of time getting positioned to cut. Yeah, cool, Jen. So positioning is number one. That's what you're doing. You have to go and find the position to be able to make a cut, to place yourself in a favorable position. You have to kind of balance position with safety as well, because sometimes you have a very tall canopy where you can set up your line pretty high up and then run around the tree, set a bunch of redirects, whatever, right? But there's also other times, for instance, like when I've done storm damage where half the tree gets knocked out. And when that happens, now your highest time point is gone. It's like, it's non-existent. So basically what ends up happening is you have to tread lightly at that point, because you have a low time point, and you can go for a real nasty swing if you're not careful. So yeah, just wanted to answer that there. Let's go back to these comments here. All right, so the wood. Great stuff. Can learn a lot by watching. Also, always learning something new. What equipment you use on the lanyard? What lanyard? What spikes you using? All right, so the wood. Thank you for the comment. And the equipment I'm using on the lanyard is basically like it's a rigging loop with a geez, man, what do you call these things? I'm trying to think of the name. Do you guys know the name of so it's a Prusik loop with, I forget what it is. Prusik loop with ring. Prusik loop with ring. Let's see. They have a specific name, guys. So I need to go down this rabbit hole because I want to tell you what it is. Here, I'm on treestuff.com right now and just looking it up. So it's something like this, except you see how it's got that integrated kind of, I forget what that piece of metal is called. It's Prusik Oh, there it is. I just saw it. Bam. The thimble Prusik. So the one I have is this one here. It's a Sterling thimble Prusik that I throw on my lanyard. And I love it because whenever I'm in like these situations right here, let's go to this video. So the Prusik loop helps right here especially. We'll kind of just talk about it and then see how I can explain.
Sending the rest of this. So we're gonna
here. I'm just trying to get this shot here. Bam. Okay, good. So here, I'm wearing the lanyard, right? And this Prusik loop here. Let's say this is the last branch here that's being cut, or let's just say this one. This is the last branch being cut, and I'm behind it. I'm gonna put my gear above this rigging gear, right? Because I don't want anything laying down on top of my ropes, preventing me from bailing out of the tree if some kind of a situation arises. You know what I mean? Let's say I get cut. I need to get out of the tree as soon as possible. If I have gear on top of my lanyard that's loaded, okay? I mean, think about it. It's disastrous. So you put your gear above your rigging gear, right? All your safety gear. And so now, after you make this cut, there's nothing above that can keep you from falling off the log, you see? And so this Prusik here, what you can do with it is choke your lanyard off to the log so that it can't come off. You can never get it off. And just recently I was climbing and I've had tremendous success with this Prusik here. This Prusik has, I believe it has saved my life in several occasions. Most recently, I went for a nice ride on a sweet gum, and yeah, I was able to stay on the log, and my lanyard didn't flip up above it or anything like that, so I was safe. And I think that this thing also, in addition to just keeping you safer, I believe it also gives you kind of like a better feel in your lanyard, because sometimes having a stationary lanyard, something that's just like nice and taut and on the tree, but allows you to move and gives you like good feeling. So like if I were to just tilt my body a little bit to the right because of the lean of the tree or something, I can stay in that position very comfortably, whereas a loose lanyard kind of doesn't give me the same feel. I don't know how to explain it. You guys got to check it out. I highly recommend it. Let's go back to these comments here. So there it is. What lanyard is it? It's like Tritech cord spikes, Gecko spikes, guys. Gecko spikes. I've had mine for 10 years. Love them. They're just the aluminum ones. Carbon fiber's too much money. Thanks for another great video, Captain Hook. Too bad they had to take down such a nice tree. I love red oaks. Yeah, man. That speaks to like, you know, something a lot bigger than you know what we do. Basically, like the conservation of trees is not very it's not a widely held view by most people. Some people say they love their trees. I've met homeowners that have in Chapel Hill like just giant trees all around their house, just enormous trees, and you cannot over prune these trees, because if you were to over prune them, you would lose business. And that's just that type of customer. And then I've also met customers like, hey man, if I had the money, I'd cut them all down. There's type of people as well. But yeah, man, it sucks. Sometimes you got to cut down a tree that you wish could stay. Wow, there's two different trees growing out of the same stump area. Oh yeah, so Fruiting Bodies. Here's a short that I recently posted, and the tree just had insane amount of the that sap would rot, and it was just bad. It was all hypoxylon canker, and you can tell right away what hypoxylon canker is. I mean, it is unmistakable. If you guys don't know what hypoxylon canker is, I highly recommend you educate yourself on what hypoxylon canker does to a tree, how it affects it, and what it means for you as the climber in that tree. Please do yourself a favor, man. It might help you. It might save your life or somebody's life. All right. That's perfect. Just what I wanted to see. Oh yeah, here's my spar anchor. 30 seconds. That's exactly how I would have done this. Now I'm gonna go get one. Hey man, this was actually this video here. I was like thinking, man, how can I make the Rope Runner Pro better in an SRT mode? And man, it just it dawned on me. I need to hook something up to that chest harness attachment and make it better. Bound Black Dog, I think, is that what it's called? Bound Loop Prusik. Yeah, pretty much. It is. It's got a thimble though, and this is the inexpensive one. DMM has a really fancy one, and I wish I could afford it. But at the time that I did buy it, this one is held up for a very long time. I was kind of sketched out about this stitching here, but the stitching is holding up. It's been many years. See, somebody did like a kind of thing here, this emoji. I guess not everyone likes my videos. There are going to be some comments here. Let's see what everyone's saying. Seeing the device instead of hands in grass would have been more helpful. I guess, man, but that wasn't this video. I mean, if that's the video you want to watch, you should just go and watch it. Don't know what kind of comment that is. All right, here's another one. I thought minimalism was just the pressure rope, saw spikes, and pole belt. Yeah, that's where most people go wrong in their thinking about what tree climbing is about. Tree climbing isn't about just going up into nowhere and have no plan, right? So for me, when I go up into a tree, my plan is to have safe access into the canopy, and then have a safe climb, and then safely come down, right? So there's like those three major events during the climb. And, you know, you need a rope. You need to have maybe a few slings, because sometimes you need a sling. Sometimes you don't have time to be throwing knots into ropes. Sometimes you just have a few slings, right? I have a 24 inch. I have a 24, a 40 inch, and a 36 inch slings on my saddle, and it's not big webbing, it's just those rock climbing style slings, and they're super helpful, man. I've used them tons of times in climbing. So I carry those, and they each have a carabiner, a non-locking carabiner, to save some weight, right? Because now you're adding more gear, and I get it, like this doesn't seem like minimalism, but yeah, it is the minimum to save your rear end later on if something were to happen, right? So what else? I'm going to take up like a DMM hitch climber with some extra hitch cord, and then, use that in case I need it. You know what I mean? What if I need to have 2 tying points and I can just like get away with the end of my rope or something, just real quick, to do something quickly. I don't know, man. There's so many reasons for taking up more than what this gentleman here is suggesting that minimalism is. That is, I would go back to the drawing board with this kind of thinking. All right, let's go here. Great video. I have a zigzag, but want something that's midline attachable. This video sold me on the Rope Runner Pro. The Akimbo looks sketch. Yeah, man, you're not right. You're not wrong about that. The zigzag's pretty awesome. It's not midline attachable. That's what kind of sucks about it. But I've been using the zigzag exclusively lately, and I'm just reminded of why I would give up the ability of midline attachable device, because the zigzag is just good. It's just so good. It's insane, man. It's one of the most expensive setups you can buy anyway. Between that and a chicane, goodness gracious. All right, dude, sorry, but you're pretty slow. Some basic stuff like putting a carabiner on the end of your line would save your employer a lot of time. I guess if you could explain to me why a carabiner at the end of my line would save my employer a lot of time. Why are we even thinking about what my employer, saving my employer time? Like, all right, so I get it, right? There's a production. There's a need to produce. There's a need to, we need to make money. This is a business. We're not running a charity here. I get it. But I have a problem with thinking about how much time it's going to take. I have a huge problem with that. I've had plenty of debates with other climbers, especially when I was working at Davy, about how we can't be thinking about time in terms of like, we need to hurry up. No, the time that it takes is the time that it takes, right? There's a time to think slow, move fast. There's a time to think fast, maybe move slow. There's like, you have to measure the cost. There's a risk associated to moving fast. If it makes sense and the trade-offs are to your benefit, and number one, to safety, increase your safety, maintain safety, right? Go ahead. But you have to measure that cost. And the cost in tree climbing, it's just extreme. It's just one extreme after the next extreme after the next extreme. It's not a light cost. Tree climbing tree work in general is very expensive, and it's expensive for a reason, right? That's why climbers get paid very well. That's why good ground workers can make very good money as well. And yeah, man, really would check myself, homeboy. All right, so trout and trees. What knot we're using for your anchor? Knot here. Oh, this one here was probably like a bowline or something. If it tips, it ships. Yeah, baby. That was good. Good comment there. I noticed you forget to put a front cut before you make your back cut. Almost got yourself a couple times. Maybe I don't really forget. Maybe I do it more on purpose. Sometimes I forget, so that is valid. But yeah, man. I was trying to find older video views where you climb above your time point, where you're adjusting your rope line to take out slack. I think it was at school. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is where I was kind of using some kind of like a quick draw technique method. It wasn't really quick draw at all. It was very slow. But the way I was climbing was above my time point, above where it was safe. It was an ash tree, and I didn't trust it either. Yeah, go check it out. How could I show you guys that video? SOT tree, could you make a video on making one from scratch? Okay, yeah, so the friction saver, there's that request. I have gaffs on my spikes. Pole gaffs are shorter. Okay, gotcha. I've learned a lot from you. I'm reading the chat here, the live chat. So Rudy Arredondo, I've learned a lot from you. I went after 2 trees already. I'm 61 years old, and it's got to be the hardest work I've ever had. Keep up the great work. Yeah, man, Rudy, it don't get easy, man. Doesn't get easier. As soon as you start playing with more and more equipment, you're gonna want to take more with you. It's getting heavier, and I mean, I would just pace myself, Rudy, but keep it up. Don't stop. That's awesome. You're 61, dude. It's awesome. It's good for you. Good for you. Yeah, and I don't know of too many 61-year-olds that would actually think about going up into a tree. So huge props, man. Props to you. Seriously, that's awesome. Okay, here we're talking about pole gas. So I was talking about pole gas with people for a while on the channel. And a lot of people have a different idea. I guess I was just getting confused. I have the long gaffs. They're probably like 3 inches long, man. 2.5, 3 inches long. I barely sharpen them. But they work good for me. I like how they are. I like to have them kind of dull, I guess. They're dull. They're definitely dull. But anyway, the gaffs, the longer gaffs, are the ones for me that I love. I feel like I can move around the tree so easy with them. I've used the shorter spike as well, and those were pretty neat. It's more like of a kicking in than as opposed to like a stepping in kind of a deal. So they were weird. Definitely like the long ones because you can just kind of step into the tree and the spike goes in, right? As long as you kind of keep a little angle on it, whatever. Sometimes I feel like when I'm spiking up the tree, my legs are like just straight up and down, and I'm just like walking up. Yeah, that would be cool, man. To kind of think up a technique for spiking, but like put it into words and kind of use it to train people on just a very simple, straightforward method of spiking into a tree. Yeah, because I think that's one thing that kind of caught me up when I was climbing out. I would always put my legs like on an angle and kind of stab at it on an angle. But you don't need to do that. I found that I just kind of walk up. Yeah. Your sound is echoing. God, man, I hate this. This is the worst. I appreciate the comment, though. I wish you guys would let me know before. Okay, so tell me if you can hear me now. Can you guys hear me all right? Oh gosh. There is no sound. Well, there wasn't. Is it still echoing though? Man. Edit the video. I don't know if it's echoing, but is it echoing now? I don't know if it's echoing, but all right. So I think I fixed it. Sorry about that. Echoing now. I'm truly sorry, guys. So the streaming thing is just something that I'm trying, and if you guys like it, let me know. Would appreciate that. Take some time here. Let's see. So Dankodos. All right. Nice work, man. You always do a good job. Thank you. Appreciate you. I think you forgot to back up the backup. That's funny because I saw somebody doing so whenever you see climbers like let me see, I've seen some competition climbers go up, right, and then they'll climb up, they'll just climb up SRT to a point, and then they'll go DRT from their single rope, right? And it's really cool. And so that's what I was trying to accomplish here in this hybrid SRT DRT system assembly, whatever. But yeah, let's move on here. I have a question for you. Why do you climb MRS and tree and not SRS? Which do you prefer? Man, that's a great question. It's kind of deep, man. Kind of just messed me up. Okay, so I would climb MRS in a tree and not SRS in a tree because maybe what I want to do is just use the mechanical advantage of it more. The mechanical advantage of an MRS system is like, it's just amazing, you know? If you can have some mechanical advantage to help you move through the tree, that's always a plus. Whereas an SRS system, you don't have that anymore. You kind of have to build some kind of mechanical advantage system. Say when you're going to go out on a limb walk, you just you put a marlin spike in your rope, you know, you clip a carabiner to that loop, and then you put your tail on the carabiner. Very simple way to do it, right? And you carry your tail with you out on the limb walk. On the way back, you use that tail to pull yourself in. That way, all your weight isn't on the branch. You get me? So then that's kind of like the downside of SRT. You don't have the mechanical advantage. There's so many more reasons for it, though. I don't prefer one over the other. Let me see. Here, Joseph, I use the Akimbo for spar work. Nice and tight setup. Apart from that, it sits. Okay, so yeah, man, spar work it's always a great tool to use it on, that kind of situation. Glad I'm not alone in getting winded 5 seconds. Yeah, man. So we're all together, man. Climbing is a tough thing. Climbing is a tough sport. Still waiting for durable winter glove that has rubberized silicone palm. Okay, tethering rope with leather is too much. You think so? I love leather gloves. Ever since I first started getting into like climbing, like really trying to get into it, I started using leather gloves and they never disappoint me. The silicone gloves for me, like they always get caught in my hitch. And so like I'll come out of the tree with, you know, the tips of the gloves missing and my fingers poking through. So that's just been my experience. And I love the leather, not only because it's not easily ripped apart, but because it's just so durable, and it helps you in terms of like heat management. So sometimes you be climbing, and you will put some heat in your gloves. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I have that experience. And not to mention, they just protect your hands better. Awesome to see you up in the trees. Stay safe. Always enjoy your videos. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thank you for your viewership. Really appreciate you guys. I love how you set up an example of being safe but efficient. Yeah, man, efficiency. I'm not always efficient. Sometimes I go up in the tree and I'm just clueless. Nice video. I wish you would cut that post off there at the base of the tree. Worry about coming down fast on something like that. I care. George. Oh, this guy's funny. So I think I know what you're saying. I think you're saying like if you were to like, be ripping, you'd just be smoking your rope and then you sit on that nub. Yeah, that would suck. That would hurt the tailbone. Andrew, great video. Nice system. What are you using for knee ascender system? Okay, sure. So for the knee ascender here, in this video, it was a simple knee ascender. It's just a chest ascender, bungee cord above it, and below it is just I think it's just all you need is a strip of rope to connect to your foot loop or your boot loop if you have boots with integrated loops. Are you sure you tied that fisherman's termination knot correctly? In this video, I don't know. I don't know if I did it correctly. Sometimes, most of the time I do. Yeah, most of the time I do. Just gotta have an X in it, that's all. Let's see, so I was in the back room, not working as I hit the play button. Okay, obviously. And one of my favorite coworkers, bro, walked around the corner and said, "That shit's my jam." To music starting this video. I can't think of a better way to get caught effing off in a time clock. They, of course. After the smoke she asked for, subscribe to the channel. Awesome video, thanks. Oh, you guys are awesome, man. It's cool. All right, so I think I'm gonna cut the video here. And once again, guys, just if you guys aren't in the loop, trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. We are not doing so well as of late. So make sure you smash that like button. That like button just kind of lets YouTube know that more people should watch this. So if you do that for me, forever grateful for you. I'm trying to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark. At that point, there will be a zigzag giveaway. So make sure you leave comments in the videos. And till next time, guys, watch out for that video coming out later on today. Peace.